Are we here? We should have sound now. We got some sound? Let me know. You thought it was your headphones. We should have sound. Do we got sound? Drop some fire emojis in the chat, man. I told you I'm trying to figure this out a little bit. If we got sound, let me know. Let me know. Everything I was saying, it really wasn't that important, I guess. So, do we got sound in here tonight? Y'all let me know. I see y'all in the chat right now. We can hear me. Oh, hold on. Yes, we are here. All right, y'all, my bad. I was going in. Y'all like, I look in the chat like, no sound, no sound. Somebody's like, read his lips. I love it. But hey, let me send out some messages real quick, get some people in here. And then I'm going to go in today. And what I was saying before you couldn't hear me is I've been getting this question a lot. And I know you might not be in your 30s. I've been getting this question a lot. I've been getting this question a lot from a lot of people. It's like, man, I feel lost right now. I don't know what to do right now in my life. I feel like, I don't know where to go. I feel like I should be further than where I'm at right now. And if you're here, I want to have a conversation with you today. Hopefully after our conversation today and our dialogue, make sure you get in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Hold on one second. Hello. Yes. Nah, man, I'm on live right now. All right. That was my son, my bad. It's like, do I want something to eat? How kind. But a lot of people, man, like, I feel like have asked me this question, especially in their 30s. And you could be in your 40s, 50s. The rules still apply your 20s. But I see so many people when they get to their 30s because I feel like there's this standard. Like when you get to your 30s, you got to have it all figured out. You got to have the job. You got to have all these things. I'm going to be real with you. When I turned 30, I was in a better place for sure, but I still didn't have it all figured out. So I want to talk about that. So let me send this message out to the crew, get some people in here. Let me know you're checking in from. I would greatly appreciate if you can share this. Make sure you tapped in with my YouTube. I told y'all 2025 we're going up on YouTube. I'm in my new studio. I'm in my new house too, by the way. Y'all like the setup? Let me know. I'm still working on it. If you couldn't see outside of here, my studio is a mess. At least it looks good in this part. So I thank y'all for rocking with me, man. I'm going to get in the chat here in a second. I'm sending this out to the community. My text community, make sure you're a part of it, 817-242-2719. Make sure you're part of my email list. Y'all know the drill, man. About some real stuff. That'd be me texting y'all too. Y'all don't even be knowing that. I'm going to send this to my top. My top 25%. My top 25%. Boom, let's go. All right. Let's see if we get some people in here. From Virginia. Okay. I see you, Carolyn. What's up? Carolyn, how you doing? You feel you're 40, you feel like that? South African in the building. The number is, I'm going to write it in the chat. That's the number. That's the text number right there. Boom. That's the text number. All right. So thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. It means the world to me that y'all are here. And while we're on here, I want to go ahead and just talk about this really quick. Hold on, y'all. This is a lot right now. All right. Cool. I want to talk about this really quick. I say really quick, but we'll probably be on here for a little bit. But I want to share this. And I shared this with this individual today. You know, they hit me up and said, Trent, I'm 30. Is it normal to feel like I don't know what I'm doing in my life? And this is for anybody, not just when you're 30, not just when you're 40, 50. I believe we all question this. Even in the season I'm in right now, I'm questioning, man, am I at where I'm supposed to be? And I told this individual, I said, it's not just normal, right? To question where you're at 30, to feel like you have to have it all figured out. It's necessary. It's necessary because it's a part of the journey. And everybody wants to like become something. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to be successful. But what I've learned is that nobody wants to go through the journey. And the truth about the journey is not always pretty. The journey is a lot of ups and downs. The process isn't always sexy. The process is setbacks, it's failure, it's losses. but it's still beautiful. And I'm gonna read exactly what I wrote. I actually made a short about this. I'm gonna read exactly what I wrote to this person back, and I want to read it to you. And I think it's very powerful. I would love for you to listen. I would love for you, honestly, to maybe even write this down. I'm gonna speak pretty slowly when I do this, but I want to share this with you. So, that person asked, right, is it normal to be in your 30s and still figuring it out? And my response to them was, it's not just normal, it's necessary. Life isn't about having it all figured out, right? By a certain age. It's about the journey, the lessons, the growth. Your 30s, like that's what I said, your 30s, come on. That's just the beginning of discovering who you really are. Don't rush the process. Embrace every moment, every setback, every victory. You're exactly where you need to be. Building, growing, and stepping into your purpose. Keep going. And that's what I want to share with you guys. Like, if you're giving your all now, I'm not saying you're exactly where you need to be if you're being lazy, if you're just expecting handouts, if you're just think the world's going to fall into your lap. I'm not saying that. But if you're a person that's diligently working, that's being intentional with their life, that's trying their best, and only you know if you're trying your best. And even if you're not trying your best, you can start today. But if you're a person that is trying your best, you have to trust that in this journey, you're exactly where you need to be. I'll give you a perfect example. I was so impatient in this journey of rehab time. You've been following me, and I've been doing this for a long time. I was so impatient. I started this at 25. When I got to 26, 27, 28, I'm like, man, like, when is this going to break through? Like, when am I going to get to the next level? When am I going to reach higher heights? And I was so impatient. And what I realized, like, now, even when I turned 30, what I realized was like, oh, if I would have got all that success then, I would have messed it up. I wasn't ready to handle it. And that's the beautiful thing about the journey. Like, when you're climbing the mountain, yes, we want to take an elevator to the top. Yes, we want to just look at the peak and take a helicopter. But when you climb the mountain, it teaches you things that about that mountain, right? And the mountain is significant to whatever it is that you're trying to do, your life, your business, whatever you're trying to grow. When you climb that mountain, it teaches you and shows you things that the person who skipped the process would never, ever be able to learn. And so I knew that if I would have prematurely became successful, I wouldn't be this consistent 15 years later. I would have fumbled it. Guarantee I wouldn't have been able to handle the pressure. I wouldn't be able to handle the finances. I wouldn't be able to handle the responsibilities. And so you got to understand, like, when you're going in this journey, and again, this is not a pass to be lazy. It's not a pass to just say, okay, well, Trent said, I'm exactly where I need to be and I'm not doing anything with my life and I'm being lazy. That's not it, because it all starts with you. But if you're a person that's like, okay, I'm doing all the things and it just seems like I don't even know where to go. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know, like, how to move forward in my life. And if you're at that fork in the road, I want to tell you this. You have to just trust the process. And I know that seems very vague, but you do. The process reveals things for you and to you. Like, if you ever come to a place in your journey where you hit a roadblock, it's like, okay, where do I go? Where do I go? And some people try to force it and becomes frustrating. You're trying to force success. You can't force success. I say this all the time. Some people are not successful because they're trying too hard to be successful. I know that seems like common sense or it doesn't make any sense, but some people aren't successful because they're trying too hard. They're trying to beat down this concrete wall. They're trying to beat it down, and it's not meant for them to arrive at the place that God wants them to be. So you got to say, okay, in this season of stuck, in this season of overwhelmed, like right now in my life, I'm very overwhelmed, right? New house, new responsibilities, a lot of things going on in my life, a lot of situations. I have a lot of overwhelm. But when I'm in these moments of overwhelm, I sit and I feel this, because as a student of life, as a learner of life, and you guys can relate to this, like, type in the chat if you feel me, as a student and learner of life, I've realized this truth. I realized, like, wait a minute, in these seasons of overwhelm, if I don't fight the resistance and I just allow the season to do what the season is supposed to do, it can teach me something. So that's why I told that individual, like, hey, open your eyes up right now and find the lessons. Open your eyes up right now and find the growth. Open your eyes up right now and find the blessings that you might think that it's not a blessing, because you're trying to get somewhere fast when you're actually supposed to sit and feel what you're going through to be able to get the knowledge, to be able to get the information. Plenty of people ask me, like, Trent, how are you able to, do these lives, and how are you able to speak on stage and write all these books for all this long? Because I feel moments. So right now in this moment, I'm feeling it. I'm like, okay, I'm overwhelmed right now in my life. I'm a little bit stressed out. I'm probably on the verge of a mental breakdown. It felt like a few days ago. What is this time trying to teach me? And I don't care if you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. Life is always trying to teach you something. But when you're so locked into your preconceived notion of what success is, what your journey is, and that's the crazy thing about life. Like a lot of us think we know our journey. And the truth is we don't. Right? We can have an idea what we want to do, right? We can know we can have an idea of where we want to go, how we want to make impact. But if you're an individual like me, I would have never, you would ask me this 15 years ago, would I be who I am today? The answer is no, not because I don't think I was going to be successful. I just didn't think I was going to be successful doing this. I had my own plan. I had my own journey. I had my own idea of what I felt success was. And I see a lot of people that get frustrated because their idea isn't working out, right? They feel stuck. They feel like, man, I want to do this. It's not working out. And in those moments, you got to sit and you got to be like, okay, the process right now is trying to teach me something. This season in my life is trying to teach me something. And you got to figure out what it's trying to teach you. But there's so many lessons in hard moments. I always say this quote, my strongest faith was built in my hardest times. The reason why my confidence is so high, my faith is so strong, is because I've got through everything I went through. Just like you. You have a 100% success rate of getting through what you're going through because you're watching this live right now. You're watching this video right now. So it lets me know that you have a resilient spirit. It lets me know that you don't break. It lets me know that you don't fold. It lets me know that you have a persevering spirit inside of you that can endure. And for some of you, you've endured a lot. But then we get to this idea because we look out on social media and we see perfection. We see people, they front online sometimes. Are they telling the truth about like, this is my life. I'm 30 and I have this and this and this. And you start thinking like, well, I'm 30 and I don't have this and this and this. Then I must be a failure. Then I must be behind. Then I must be, not in a place where I'm supposed to be. I must be in a setback. Or you see somebody that's 40, you see somebody that's 20, and you start comparing your life to those things. And the genius advice I can give you that is so common sense, and I know you hear this, but comparison is the death to your progression, to your dreams, to your best life. Looking out, it's almost dumb. Like, and I hate to say it like this because you should be inspired to be like, okay, they're doing this. Be inspired to see what's possible, right? So when you see somebody living a life that you want to live, when you see somebody, I'm about to be 40 years old. So some people might look at me and say, oh man, Trent's at 40. Okay, when I'm at 40, it's supposed to look like this. But instead of comparing your life to mine, just be inspired to see what's possible and then say, okay, well, let me figure out what's meant for me. But some people and some of us, I've been guilty of this too in my earlier parts of my journey, is that we look out instead of being inspired of what's possible, we start to make their life the standard of how we're supposed to live. And we're in a social media era where everybody's showcasing their best life. Even if they're not living their best life, everybody's showcasing their best moments, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what we do instead of looking out and saying, okay, I'm going to be inspired by that to see what's possible. If something is possible for them, then it must be something in my life that's probably different than their something that's possible for me. If they're able to go on this journey and reach higher heights, then I know it's possible in my own unique way to reach my higher heights. But the problem that we do is that we look out and we say, oh, that's the standard. Oh, this is what somebody is saying that it takes to be successful. Oh, these are the 5 steps that you got to do. Oh, you got to have the husband. You got to have the wife. You got to have the kids. You got to have the white picket fence. You got to have the American dream to be successful. And what we start to do is we start to feel like we're less. We start to feel like we're not enough. We start to get to this place of we're feeling stuck, or we put this unnecessary pressure on our life to say, I'm 30 and I got to be married. I'm 30 and I got to have 6 figures in the bank account. I'm 30 and I got to be this crazy high-level entrepreneur. I'm 30 or I'm 40 now and I got to be a CEO. Or I'm 50 and I got to make sure, my retirement's set in place and make sure everything is put together. The truth about life is, man, none of us have it all together. Not even me, right? All of us are a hot mess trying to figure this thing called life out. And that's the beautiful part about this journey. Again, some people hide their struggles better, right? Some people don't show you everything. But what I would tell you is stop, breathe, reflect, appreciate, have gratitude, and say, you know what? I'm here now in this present moment. How can I appreciate my journey? And what's the next step that I think I could take? What's the next step? Because there's always going to be something to strive for. There's always going to be something that you feel that is missing. There's always going to be something that you feel like you can compare your life to. There's always going to be something in the journey that you feel like you don't have. And so, how can you resist the urge to fall into the trap of, I'm supposed to be here at this particular time? We all have different purposes. We all have different journeys. We all have different callings. We all have different routes. We all have different ways to get to whatever the purpose is of our life. If we were all the same, life would be boring. So I want to just tell you right now, I'm proud of you. Like, I'm proud of you for getting through everything you're going through. I'm proud of you for being in a space where you're trying to figure things out, that you have enough awareness to be like, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. But instead of that being something that tears you down, allow that to be something that inspires you. Say, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. Cool. Right? Maybe where I want to be isn't where I need to be. Maybe I need to let go of this control of I'm supposed to be somewhere. And I think the greatest gift that you can give to your life, that you can give to your dreams, that you can give to your progression, that you can give to your journey, that you can give to your purpose, that you can give to your vision, that you can give to you, is to let go of the idea that you're supposed to be somewhere. Let go of the idea that you're supposed to be this person, that you're supposed to be that. Let go of control of wanting to be somewhere with your life. I think it's one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself, because some of us, we put ourselves in a mental prison, in a mental blockage, because we're like, oh man, my friend, like they just got married, or my friend, oh man, he got the good job. Oh, my friend just got this, or my friend's a podcast, my friend's a YouTuber. Oh, I gotta have these amount of subscribers. Oh, I gotta, and you start to just place unnecessary overwhelm in your life. And I just seen Michelle in the chat say something, and it's 100% true. You got to give yourself grace and just learn to smile and laugh at your journey, because this thing of life is going to take you so many places. I've known people, and I've been here too, where I was at 20, 22 years old, an NFL football player, financially free, living my best life, and everything was great until I got cut. I had everything figured out. My plan was going as planned. I'm in the exact place that I'm supposed to be in my life, that I plan to be in my life. Then one day, 24 hours, everything changed. That rug of comfort got pulled from right under my feet. That security got pulled from right under my feet. That confidence, that identity got pulled from right under my feet. And I had to face myself in the mirror and say, man, what am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to go? And that's life, y'all. Life can humble you in seconds. Life can humble you in minutes, no matter how much you think you have it all figured out. So don't hang your identity on the placement of your life in this world. And trust that you're right where you need to be for some purpose. And I do want to clarify, I'm not telling you you're right where you need to be if you're putting yourself in toxic environments. I know that's pretty common sense, but I want to be clear so nothing gets misconstrued. I'm not saying you're where you need to be if you're staying in something or putting yourself in destruction. But even in those moments, there's so many lessons. There's so many things you can learn that can better you, that can strengthen you. So I'm not, shunning you. I'm not being insensitive to where you're at. You can still learn. You can still grow. But I'm speaking to the person tonight that feels like they're failing at life because their life is not congruent with everybody else's. Maybe your friends around you seems like they're succeeding and taking off, and you feel like you're being left behind. Maybe you're getting out of college and everybody else is getting jobs and you're not getting a job. Maybe you're 40 right now and everybody seems to be stable in their life and you feel like, man, I'm not stable. People around you having kids and having family, like, man, I want that. I don't have that. I must be failing at life. You're only failing at a life that you aren't meant to live. You understand me? You're only failing at a life that you aren't meant to live. And that's a life that you should fail at. The life that isn't for you. But you're succeeding at the life that you're meant to live. And sometimes the process is a little bit harder. Sometimes the process is a little bit longer. Sometimes you got to figure some things out. And sometimes you're not meant to have what everybody else has. Some people aren't meant to be in relationships. Some people aren't meant to be this or be that. And I know society has put this standard on us as like, oh, this is the standard for happiness. No, the standard for happiness is fully appreciating your life. The standard for happiness is fully appreciating everything about you. The happiest people I know have the healthiest perspectives. Healthiest perspectives, meaning that their outlook on life is untouchable. No matter where they're at, no matter who's doing better around them, no matter how much they want to compare, they like don't. And they just appreciate where they're at in their life. So what I want to do right now, I want to get into this chat for a little bit. I want to kick it with y'all for a little bit tonight. But I want to just share that with y'all. Like, I've been hearing that a lot. Trent, man, I'm in my 30s, or Trent, I'm in my 40s, and I just feel like, is this normal for me to feel like this? Yeah, it's necessary too. I'm glad that I went through moments of discovery. I'm glad that I didn't find what I was looking for because it led me to something better. I'm glad things didn't work out so better things could work out. I'm glad that I was in a place of confusion so I can get more clarity. Sometimes we got to be in confusion, like, what am I doing in my life, to figure things out, to get more clarity. I was confused with my dreams, and guess what? I found clarity in my purpose. If I would have found clarity in my dreams, what I wanted to do, I would have never walked into my purpose ever in my life. So sometimes, as I always say, you got to lose certain things to gain certain better things. Sometimes things can't work out because better things have to work out down the line. And what's for you is what's for you, and what's for them is what's for them. So I want to share that with y'all. But I want to get in this chat. You guys ask me questions. Let's talk. I see y'all in here right now. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like it. Everybody like it. Get the thumbs up. I think we got one thumbs up on here right now. I need everybody right now to like this on YouTube, man. I'm getting my feet wet on YouTube. I need everybody to click that thumbs up button. It would mean the world to me. I think if you're watching this on your phone, it's like three little dots at the top of the screen. Press those and do that for me. But let's see. I'm supposed to be here at a time such as this. Absolutely. I love that. Brooke says, protect your peace. I felt stuck and been feeling this weight lately. I feel you, color your emotions. And I would just ask you, like, when you say stuck, like what's influencing that, right? What's influencing you being stuck? Is it an idea of, man, I should be somewhere? Is it more of like blockage in your life because you have a lot of things going on? But I think stuck, you're never stuck. Stuck means that you ain't moving nowhere. And I believe this in life. We're always moving because life moves. And so we're always either going forward or backwards. And sometimes we need to take 3 steps back to take 10 steps forward. So I try not to use words of stuck. I don't tell myself those things. And when I do, I always correct myself. And I say, you know what? Because I believe meanings and definitions are very important. I always just tell myself I'm just figuring things out right now. I'm not stuck. I'm just figuring things out right now. I only think I'm stuck because I believe I should be somewhere. I should be at a place where I'm not at. Right? I have this idea of my future. Oh, I should be here. So that means I'm stuck. No, I'm not stuck. I'm just figuring some things out. And once I figure these things out, then you know what? That momentum will be back in my life. Y'all liked it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, man. 128 likes. Let's go. Get these likes up. Let's get to 200 likes if we can. I'm just in the chat right now talking to y'all. Let's see what we got here. I appreciate it. Please don't ever feel discouraged. I definitely needed this message. I'm 62. So, Joy, I want to answer this for you, Joy. Joy says, I'm 62 and I'm not sure what my purpose is. Love your message. So, I know some of you have heard me talk about, I'm going to like this, heard me talk about, um, purpose. If you read The Greatest You, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw my Facebook, The Greatest You has amassed for 500,000 copies. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for supporting the book. But so many people have asked me this question throughout the years, like, man, I don't know what my purpose is. And I just want to tell you this briefly. Purpose is not something you search for. Purpose is who you are. And I don't know if y'all know this story. When I was writing The Greatest You, I think it's chapter 3, which is, dang, that light got bright. Where did that come from? That light just got bright on me. Hold on, y'all. There we go. I don't know if y'all know this, but The Greatest You, the purpose chapter, I rewrote that chapter right before the book came out because I had an aha moment about purpose and nobody was talking about this. And so I started teaching on it because I believe that a lot of us, what we do is we think that the world has our purpose, right? We think that somebody is going to just hand us our purpose. And your purpose is like, this is your purpose of life. Like a birdie flies down with an envelope, a little like, back in the cartoons, like a big seagull fly has a big scroll in their mouth and they fly down to your doorstep and they like, here's your purpose. And you unroll it. This is my purpose of life. It doesn't work like that. What I believe in my perspective is purpose is not something you search for. It's realizing that purpose is who you are. And so you are purpose. Your life is purpose. The world has your placement, right? Placement is the things that I'm doing. Placement is, oh, I'm at this job. Placement is, oh, I am doing this as an entrepreneur. Placement is, oh, I'm an NFL football player. That's placement. Don't confuse purpose with placement because the thing about placement, it is not guaranteed. The NFL cut me. When they cut me, I thought that was my purpose. So when they cut me, I feel like I lost my whole life because I don't have purpose no more. But if I was wiser then, by going through the process of learning what purpose is, I would have said, oh, this really hurts and it sucks. But you know what? This isn't my purpose. This is just a placement. I can take my life. I can take my purposeful self because God created me on purpose, for a purpose, to do purpose, to breathe purpose, to live purpose, to share purpose. I can take my life anywhere and actually impact anything. That's purpose. You are a purposeful human being. It's just about making a choice and saying, this is how I want to live. This is what I want to do. And some of us, we discredit what we want to do because we don't see the beauty in it. We don't see the impact in it. We don't see the monetary value in it. We don't see the success in it from a standpoint of externally. So we say, oh, no, this can't be my purpose. This can't be what I want to do. Like, I don't just want to be a good person because there's no money in being a good person. And I tell people, when you really embrace your purpose, these placements that are congruent with your purpose, it's kind of like two energies, right? You have your purpose, which is you. And the more you live in it, the more you own it, the more you realize it's who you are. It's like the right placements. It's hard to explain. Some of you might can feel this in the chat. Just let me know. But the right placements find you. Like Rehab Time found me. It's a placement. When I speak on stages, most of my stages I speak on, it finds me. And it becomes congruent and it synergizes, that's even a word, with my purpose. And it creates magic, right? It creates something very powerful, something impactful. It's because I fully embrace me. So I want to just tell you, Joy, I know you're 62, but your purpose, you are. So I want you to take your purposeful self and I want you to go create some impact. Whatever that is. And I'm sure you're already doing it. I'm sure you're a beautiful soul, amazing soul. You probably don't give yourself enough credit. I'm sure you're super legendary. By the way, if you're watching this in real time, Live Legendary event, go to TrentShelton.com. My birthday event, September 21st. I want to see you there. Teaching you how to live legendary, letting you know a legend is just an ordinary person that's extraordinary at something. Okay, so Joy, know that you are purpose. And when I say these things, you have to detach what most people think purpose is. Most people think purpose is position. Okay, I wasn't trying to teach on purpose tonight, but we here. Most people think purpose is position. Oh, I got to be in a high position. I got to have a title. I got to be up in the company. I got to be, CEO, or I got to have this powerful position to be in purpose. No, purpose is, again, a choice. I could be at whatever position and still make impact. I can be on the bench as a football player and still make impact, right? At practice and with my teammates, how I show with my attitude. Most people think it's placement. So they think it's position, they make that mistake. The other thing they think is profit, right? They think, oh, if I'm not making a lot of money, this can't be my purpose. And when I tell people, like, I wish y'all can see my journey, I wasn't making any money when I first started this. I wasn't getting paid for speaking engagement. They sure wouldn't give me money for no book deals, none of that stuff. But I just knew I had peace in it. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. And the other one is position, profit, and the other one slipping my mind. But don't tie your purpose to those two things, right? When you do it, you're going to feel like, oh, this must not be your purpose. And we start to say, oh, this isn't meant for my life. And what happens is you walk away from a placement that was actually meant for your life. And you walk away from it because you think this placement isn't powerful enough for you because the position isn't right or the profit isn't right, et cetera. So I hope that makes some sense. Purple Tube, your birthday, September 20th. Let's get it. Purpose is impact. That's right. It's a decision. And your decision away. When I say these things, I be thinking like, I wonder if people just be like, oh yeah, Trent, whatever. And by the way, if you're like that, I feel you. I've been there before, but that's half the reason why things might not change in your life. Like, you got to have a better perspective. You got to know when somebody speaks life into you, you got to know, okay, it's possible for me. Like, that's the foundation of self-worth. We're not going to talk about self-worth tonight, but that's the foundation of self-worth, and self-worth is everything. So if you're over there saying easier said than done, or you're like, oh, well, that isn't for me, or yeah, Trent, you don't understand everything I've done. This happened in my life. I got a bad life. I can't guarantee that your life is going to change. I'm not God. I can't guarantee that you're going to do a 180. I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee that the sun is going to shine in your life. I can't guarantee that. But what I can guarantee, with an attitude like that, nothing's going to change at all. I can guarantee you that. So the first step is shifting your perspective, seeing the good in everything, seeing everything as power. This happened to me. It's power. Yes, this terrible situation happened to me. If you look back on your life, I guarantee you, there's things in your life that happened to you that were unfair. And I'm not talking about like, I don't know if I can say these words on YouTube, but like really, really bad stuff. Like, even in that, people will use that, even though as hard as it might be, as a child or something that was very evil, they will still use that to help other people. But I want to tell you that there's power in everything. And that power can be used to elevate your life, elevate your mission, and elevate what you're doing. Thank you, Joy. What else we got, man? This hit homes for me. It speaks to so many levels. Let me get in this chat. Thank you. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. It means the world to me with YouTube. I'm getting back on my YouTube journey. People are like, man, you never go live on YouTube. So, one day we're gonna have like 100,000 people in here talking about self-worth, talking about rehab time. You got a number. When will the PYP audiobook re-release? In I think next month. I think next month, my friend. What questions do y'all have? Let's answer some questions before I get off of here. You think you can restart your life at 29? Restart it? Your life is just starting, Devin. What you mean restart it? It ain't no restart. I think that I don't think it's a restart. I really think that it's just a part of the journey. And now listen, if you want to look at it like that, nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm gonna create a new beginning. I'm gonna change some things. I get that. I did that at 25. I was like, you know what? I'm changing things. Like, it's a new me. But your life is just beginning. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, my 30s, I was thinking 30s was old. I'm like, man, I'm turning 30. Like, my 30s, man, I thought I knew myself at 20. And then now as I'm about to hit 40, I'm like, man, this is awesome. Yeah, my body ache a little bit more and things like that. I gotta make sure I take care of my body a little bit better. But I'm realizing, man, I'm more wiser, more smart. I understand things. Like, when people used to be like, oh, 40 is old, I'm like, man, I'm just beginning. I got my feet under me. I got my career, right, doing the things that I want to do. And my 30s, I feel like I've used my 30s to figure out who Trent was. I use my 20s to, get all it out my system. You know what I mean? Get all of it out my system. And I use my 30s to figure out who's Trent. Who is Trent Shelton? And I don't know if I knew the answer to that. I thought I did. I would tell you that I did. But I found out things about me that I use my 30s a lot to rediscover or to undo some things or to dive deeper in foundational things that I feel like I needed to heal from. But I know my 40s will be even better. And I see people living their best life at 50, 60, 70, 80, and it's a blessing. So yeah, at 29, you just figuring things out. At 29, you ain't even got your feet wet. Your 30s are going to be amazing. Going to be amazing. Because what happens is, for most of us, is that more people are starting to mature. They get all the other stuff out their system. Their definition of fun changes. And you start to think differently. Like most of your friends, hopefully, they start to prioritize differently. Then you go into that grown man or grown woman stuff where it's like, okay, this is how I want to set up my future. And for me, once I hit about 35, 36, I started thinking about like my legacy. I started thinking about being legendary. I was like, man, I'm not going to be here forever. If even just mathematics, I'm probably halfway done with my life. Hopefully I lived 100 years old, but my mom passed away before 70. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm almost halfway done with my life. Maybe or maybe not, but I'm operating like that. So I'm like, okay, how do I want to live this second half of my life? Right? How do I want to shift things around? So, man, you're just getting started. You're just getting started. Age ain't nothing but a number. And I know we've heard that song before, but it's true. I don't even like to say age because it's more about how you feel, not your age. Like I know people who literally are 25 that are stressed more than somebody that's 55. It's more about how you feel. It's not about a number. How do you feel? Right? It's not about a year that you were born. Like I get it, by physics, as we get older, we tend to, wear and tear, just like a car. But if you really take care of yourself and you're mindful, that's something I've been working on. It's like I know people who are better at 50 than they were at 20. I know people who actually look like they 30 years old because they taking care of themselves. And so age ain't nothing but a number. What matters is what you do between the dash of your birthday and your death date. Because the truth is, if we get real in here tonight, man, y'all about to get me fired up and go for another hour. But if we get real in here tonight, I want to just tell you this. Like some of us, well, nobody in here, but for some people in the world, there's somebody in the world that's going to die tomorrow. And it's just reality. There's somebody in the world that's not going to see tomorrow that might be 25 years old. Guaranteed. It might be 18 years old, might be 13 years old. And they think they have forever. They think that they're young. But there's a 50-year-old that got 30, 40, 50 years left. So who's actually younger? You know what I mean? Who's actually younger? And so when you think about it like that, a lot of us think that, oh, I'm young or I'm old. And I get it. Like that's the way we've been taught. I don't even like to say my age because to me, age is how you feel. Do you feel young? Do you look young? How do you feel? I know it was times in my 20s playing football, I felt old. I could barely walk, my back cracking. You know what I mean? I'm like, So it's more about how you feel, not a number that somebody gives you. You know what I mean? Like, who knows how old we really are, right? I don't, I'm not into astrology or astronomy, whatever it's called. Like, I don't know. Who knows? Like, what's 24 hours? Is that really 24 hours? Like, is it really my birthday? Is the calendar really right? Who knows? So I just go about how I feel. And there's times in my life where I felt old, because I got old habits. I got stress in my life. I got anxiety in my life. I'm feeling overwhelmed. To me, those are the recipes to get old. And let's talk about that while we're on here for a moment. The recipes to get old. Y'all can write in the chat what y'all think too. Like get active with me. But the recipes to getting old is living in overwhelm. Stress is the silent killer that will murder your peace. Right? Stress is a recipe to get old. Hanging in the wrong environments, being around people that don't love you, settling for less. All these things are a recipe to get old because it adds stress and it adds regret to your life. Regret will that's not even a word. Regret will age the soul more than anything else. Right? Regret will age your soul. We're not worried about the body. The body is the body. But regret will age your soul more than anything else. And most people that I know live in regret. They don't know how to let go. They don't know how to move forward, or they don't know how to take advantage of the present moment. So the present moment that they didn't take advantage of, they didn't realize the opportunity, they didn't have appreciation for it. Eventually, that turns into a moment they can't get back, and it haunts their soul forever, and they live in regret. So that's what I think getting old is all about, is that. Because my grandmother was 98, 97, and she was young. My grandma looked younger than some of y'all at 97. Facts. But she always had joy. She always had peace in her life. You know, she put herself around the right environment. She didn't tolerate nonsense. She didn't engage with stressful things. And so that's the recipe. The recipe to staying young is to have fun. Like as adults, when we get to this age thing, like oh man, let's talk tonight. Can we stay on here a little bit longer? Just like the chat with Fires, we can stay on here a little bit longer. 10 years ago, I was 29. I felt like I was 40, 30, 39 now, 100 pounds. Look at that. Tessa? Exactly. Look at Tessa. Facts. I love that, Tessa. Exactly. She talking, see? That's what I'm talking about. Facts. I love in the chat when people speak facts and it backs up what I'm talking about. But, man, I forgot what I was about to say now. Where's about to go with this conversation? Give me a second. I lost my train of thought. Be like, that's the old brain, Trent. Oh yeah. So like staying young. What I believe, this is my opinion, but if you want to stay young, I'm gonna tell you what happens as we get older in age, right? As we get we start hitting a certain age, because society has put like, oh, you're 30 or you're 40, you're 50. Society has said, oh, that's old. You should stop doing this and this. Most adults become boring. And it is so dangerous to your soul. Most adults stop having fun. They get boring. They lose their imagination. They stop dreaming. They stop imagining things because, oh, that's too childlike. And you stop doing the things that kept you young. That's why I love having kids. Some people might say kids age you. Maybe they do a little bit, but I love my kids because they keep me young. I go outside and I play with the dogs. We run around. We play, pitch and catch. We me and Tristan, we wrestle. You know what I mean? We do all this stuff. Like with the girls, we play, you know what I mean? They want me to, we play, I forgot what they call it, but, I don't want to say the word house because I might even get into that. Some of y'all grew up playing house the wrong way. But I'm with have their dolls with them, whatever it may be. And they keep me young because they keep me in my imagination. And that's what a lot of us do. Like we get into this routine, we get into the mundane of life, right? Every day is the same. That will age you quicker than everything else. You got to put some spunk back into your life. You know what I mean? You got to put some fun back into your life. You got to put some curiosity back into your life. You got to put some randomness back into your life. You got to. Or else you're going to get old. You're going to get bored. You're going to get stale, like bread that's been sitting out for 3,000 years. And I see it so much. Oh, you know what? I ain't doing that. I ain't going to do this. That's little kid stuff. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm just like, man, you're getting lame. And I have a quote somewhere on the internet. I can't think of it right now. I'm probably going to butcher it. But my quote says, we don't get older because of age. We get older because we stop doing the things that kept us young. Something like that. We stop doing the things that keep us young. And it's true. So I'm more into like staying young. Like I'm going to record this week a new song. Some people might, Trent, you're 39 years old. Why are you recording a rap song? Because I want to. Because I like it. Because I'm not trying to impress you. Because it fuels my curiosity. It fuels my creativity. I'm honoring my creativity. It fuels my imagination. I'm not making a song for you. I'm making a song for me. So I'm still doing those things. But society says, hey, when you turn 40, you should be doing this. You should look like this. You should sound like this. And we put all these freaking standards on our life that somebody told us that this is how we're supposed to be, right? You're not supposed to be able to have a nice body. You're not supposed to be able to be in good health because you're getting older. And I would fall into that excuse. Oh, you know what? The reason I'm not in the best shape because I'm 39 now. And it's a lame excuse. No, it's because, bro, you're not being consistent. That's it. You're not being consistent. And as you get older in age, right, you do got to be a little bit more consistent with your health choices. That's just the law of life. And so I have to tell myself, bro, it's not your age. It's because literally you are being lazy. That's what it is. Because you're not being consistent. That's what it is. So I want to challenge everybody that's listening to me right now. Go have some fun. Now be, don't be too wild, but go have some fun. You coming to my birthday on Friday, September 20th, my VIP party. We having some fun in there. That's why I'm taking up all cell phones. I don't want nobody in there be like, look at Trent twerking, right? I ain't gonna be twerking nothing like that. But we having some fun. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some fun, let our hair down. You know, I got hair too, so I can say that. And just relax and have fun. Of course, have, mindful, have responsible fun for sure. But we're gonna have fun. And I just feel like we lose that. We lose that. Even in families, we lose that. Even in relationships, we lose that. It's like, when do you get so boring? At some point, you start being bored. And I hate to tell it to you like that, but it's true. It's true. So I want you to get back to having fun. If you are 20 years old and you boring, you're going to age fast. I'm just telling you right now. If you stop honoring your inner child, you're going to age fast. That's why I know people, again, that are 65 that will run circles around you because they are funny, they're energetic, they have their inner child alive. Like, that's why I believe, and this is just my interpretation, it could be wrong, but that's why I believe God tells us, or one of the reasons God tells us to stay childlike. God changes, procrastination, the coping mechanism. Absolutely it is. Who shared that? Annie? Yep. Where my birthday at? You got to go to TrentShelton.com, man. We got, I think, 140 tickets left. So it's moving really fast. Actually, it's the fastest event we've ever had. So I guess y'all want to celebrate my birthday with me. I appreciate it. But literally, like, on some real stuff, man, like, I know people who are older, quote unquote, and their recipe is like, I'm just having fun. I'm just loving life. I'm just enjoying the ride. Because again, what matters is what you do with that dash. The birth date has already happened, right? That's already written on your tombstone. What you do with the dash matters. The death date, you're going to be dead. It don't matter. What you do right now matters. That's it. So get back to having fun. The reason I've been going live and going to start going live, I used to love to do this. I used to love to go live. 2009, when it wasn't even popular to. I used to love to stream. I was streaming before anybody even thought of streaming, really. But I started doing this because I have fun doing this. I have fun kicking it with y'all late at night, staying up late. Somebody driving past my house, they're going to see all in here, be like, oh my gosh, that's Trent. But I love it. Twerking party in Fort Worth. Melissa Buns, man, look at you talking about twerking party in Fort Worth. Ain't nobody twerking. Well, y'all can twerk if y'all want to. It's on y'all. Ain't nobody judging y'all. Dance, man. Dance is a form of expression. I ain't judging. September 21st. Yes, you can go to TrentShelton.com, and I would love to see y'all there. It would be great. Tickets are going fast, and I'm not just saying that for some selling like mechanism. They really are. So I would love to see you there. My lives are fun. Thank you so much. I thought the world was ending, so I didn't care. Man, who knows when the world's going to end? You know what I mean? Physical activity is more important to feeling healthy. And yeah, it is. I think moving your body, what you put in your body, as we all know, is definitely key. What questions we got? How do you get over the fear of death? I think it's all different. For me, I don't fear dying. I really feel dying while I'm still living. That's what I fear. I fear like not going to live my best life. Death is going to happen. It's just the body. I mean, you're a spirit, you're a soul. Now, who knows? We all have our different beliefs. I have my beliefs for sure. But, none of us truly, truly knows. Like, none of us have experienced, like, what happens when you die. Now, I have my beliefs, and I believe that, I'm going to go home to my Lord and Savior. I believe that. But I want to tell you, like, death is not a real thing because you never die. Your body dies, your soul dies. If you legendary, I wrote this in my notes. I'm going to read it to you right here. So y'all know I really am about this. And y'all probably hear me share it at the event. I'm actually working on the event right now. But I'm going to read what I wrote. Hold on. I wrote this. You see, legend. I say we get it by any means necessary. You see, legends never die, so we never. So we will never see the cemetery, and it's true. Like if you're doing something that's impactful, if you're living in purpose, man, you'll never see the cemetery, ever. You'll live on forever. Legends never die. So I'm never gonna die. So I don't fear death. What I do fear is not living my best life. I think I said in the spoken word, die with your dreams. You might not be in control of how you die, but you are in control of how you live. And so I will focus on that. Why should I fear something that is inevitable? Why should I fear something that, I can't control or change? I'm gonna live my best life. I do fear, my presence being gone here. I do fear that for people that truly love me and care about me. Like I don't fear it, but like I hurt sometimes for that, like my kids and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, man, we just fear death because nobody's ever experienced it. And the people that experience it can't tell you what it's like, unless, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, so um there's different techniques, but for me is I think losing people close to me has kind of made me numb to it. To be real with you, as a kid, I used to fear the cemetery. I used to be scared of all that stuff. But like losing my mom and all of that stuff, or gaining my mom as an angel, like I don't fear it at all. Like what I fear again is not living my best life. What I fear is leaving this world with incompletion. What I fear is like going to that cemetery with all my ideas, man. So that's what I fear. As legends, we live forever. And that's what we all are. We all have a legend inside of us that we live forever. How do you get off this hamster wheel? You just jump off. Seriously though, who asked that question? Be the T queen. You gotta get off of it. You gotta check yourself. You gotta have a disruptor. When you're on this hamster wheel, whatever the hamster wheel is, you gotta have a disruptor and say, nope, not today. We're doing something different. You gotta shock yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta disrupt yourself violently, not in a physical violently way, but emotional way, like violently disrupt yourself by saying, nope, this is not what I'm gonna do today. We're not doing this today. We're gonna do something else. And you create a new flow. Just like anything else. Like if your faucet was overflowing, what would you do? You would stop it so it wouldn't flood. But a lot of us, we have a faucet that's running that doesn't serve our life, but we're not turning off the faucet. We're just letting it run and be like, how do I stop it? Turn off the faucet. That's what you gotta do. Turn it off. That's it. It's common sense, but it's true. Turn off the faucet. It's like, how do I stop the flooding, Trent? How do I stop it? Turn off the faucet. And then you say, okay, then create a new flow. And that takes work, but it's not rocket science when it comes to changing things in your life. I'm just telling you, it's not. It's hard because it's like, oh, I have to do the unknown. I got to do something different. I got to trust the process. I got to have patience and all these things. So that's the hard part. But, to get off a hamster wheel, to get out of a terrible relationship, you just do it. You make the choice to say, I'm no longer doing this. And you actually identify the habit loop in your brain, right? You have a habit loop. I call this the emotional habit loop. I teach about it in my classes. But your habit loop is always going to be, right? You're going to feel something. You're going to want to do something because you want to get the result. That's your habit loop. So you feel something. So you might feel, for example, hungry. Okay. And your result is, I don't want to be hungry anymore. But you're going to go to what you're addicted to. So you're addicted to sugar. Your brain is like, I need sugar. So I'm going to go pick up them Sour Patch Kids. I'm talking about myself. I'm going to pick up them Sour Patch Kids and I'm going to feel a little bit full. I'm going to eat the whole bag. I'm going to feel sick too. I'm going to feel bad about myself. Like, God dang, why did I go to that? So what's not wrong is wanting to cure the feeling of feeling. What's not wrong is no longer wanting to feel hungry. There's nothing wrong with that. What's never going to change is feeling hungry. What has to change is the action that I take and what I do. And so I got to put something in place that keeps me really consistent and accountable. So I make sure I take the right action every single time. And so that's the loop that we go in. And most people, we never get out that hamster or loop because we feel something, we don't have a game plan. So for example, right now, if I get hungry, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. I got some chips in the pantry that I love. And I don't know why they there. I need to just stop buying them, to be honest with you. But I got the kids love it. That's another thing too. The kids love it. But I got some chips in the pantry that I love. If I get hungry right now, there is a great chance that I'm going to want to go in there and go smash that bag of chips. Now I got to think through the process. Now, Trent, you worked out today. That's going to be like 1,200 calories. You just did that hard workout where you burned about 1,200 calories. Is those chips really worth it? There's a banana in there. There's some blueberries in there. You might just be dehydrated. There's some coconut water in there. Let's start there. And what usually happens is when I make the choice to start there, I never get to there, the bad stuff. I never get to the chips. And then because I feel full, I feel satiated. That's the proper word to use. And so you have to realize in life, that's the loop that we all stay on. That's the addiction loop. And the more our brain is wired to certain feel good things, that's the first thing we're going to go to when we have a feeling. I'm going to go to the things that make me feel good, that make me feel better. I'm going to go back to these things. So if I feel lonely, instead of working through the process, instead of praying, instead of whatever, I'm going to go to the thing that feels good because I want to feel good to relieve this feeling. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. So to get off the hamster wheel, you got to prepare. You got to know that you're on the hamster wheel. You got to know and identify, your weaknesses, your temptations, and you got to have a game plan. You don't have kids to blame. Amy, like, I'm eating the Sour Patch Kids regardless. I got a sweet tooth. I blame my daddy and my grandma. Like my grandma at our house, my kids, like Tristan was old enough to know my grandma. So his great grandma, he still talking about, man, Mother Sheldon had all the candy. I said, bro, just imagine growing up. I said, she kind of scaled back, bro, but we used to have cavities like a mug. My mom used to be like, hey, kids, do not eat all the candy. You know us. What? She had them strawberries, strawberry candies. Ooh, bro, them strawberry candies, in the little strawberry wrap. Bro, I used to like kill them things. Probably like 50 when I used to go over there. Stomach be hurting. But yeah, I got a sweet tooth. I got a really bad sweet tooth. Especially for certain things. Like I don't like a lot of like sweets as far as like desserts necessarily, but I do got a sweet tooth. I grew up with Kool-Aid where you don't even measure it with the sugar. You just pour it in there. That's what I grew up on. So, what I mean? That's a battle that I be fighting all the time. I remember you always saying trust the process. I started doing that, trusting God, Jehovah, because being patient and not giving up, I said myself, yeah, you got to trust the process. And the thing about it, you got to pray for the process too. Because sometimes, we don't know what we're trusting because you're like, okay, what's the process? And so you have to know, when I talk about the process, to me, the process is your habits and your routines and your actions and choices. Like, to me, that's the process that I talk about. It's like, what are my habits every single day? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I making the right choices? Am I making the right decisions? And if you're doing those things, you can say, yes, 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 I'm doing all the things. It's kind of like, I love talking about fitness and weight and, weight loss, because that's the easiest thing to like tie something to. So it's kind of like, man, okay, I'm eating all the foods, I'm doing all the workout. I'm not seeing anything change on the scale, right? But I'm feeling better. And so you should know that I'm feeling better. You should know that I'm doing all the right things, then my results going to come at some point. So that's what it means by saying trust the process. Dip them popsicles in it. I love chocolate chips. Yeah, man. I'm going to tell y'all a story real quick. Y'all going to laugh at this, and we're going to get off of here. Who knows? Maybe we'll stay on here. Y'all still rocking with me tonight? Y'all still rocking with me tonight? What's up, man? Make sure I hit that like button. Let's share this. Let's get some more people. Let's get some new people. Who's new in here today? If you're new, just tell me your name and where you're from, right? Meaning that you have no idea who I was. You just seen this dude with the LA hat with some dreads. And you like, man, who is this dude? And you stopped on here. Who are you? And let me know who you are. I know a lot of you know me, but I want to see anybody in here is different. So I'm going to tell, what have you learned about joining other communities if you ever joined? Like, what you mean other communities, like in what? Thelma still, what up, Mary? Okay, y'all still rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. Raquel, you sleepy? Come on, Raquel. Come on, that's old people energy. I'm just playing. Sleep keeps you young too. Melissa be like, Trent, who? You been with me for years, Raquel? Okay. Some of y'all gonna have to prove it. Because people be telling me that. You have to prove. You have to send me a video or something of mine that's from old, like a memory that pops up. You have to prove it to me. DM me, be like, see, Trent, I told you, look at this memory. You had long hair, like super long dreads. But I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick. If you're on my podcast, you listen to my podcast today, and you heard this story, but I'm gonna tell it here. So I can't make this up. And my brother's gonna kill me, but it's all right. He probably won't see this anyway. So Red says, I just got your text, but just, oh, you get my text, you just subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, I join other communities at times. You'd be surprised what you help me. For real, Amy, man, I don't, that, when y'all tell me those things, it's kind of surreal to me. Like when y'all say I helped you out of something, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it's always surreal to me. And I'm happy. You at a Dallas, Texas, Jessica? When you gonna come run with me? Jessica? Come on, you in Dallas? You right down the street, you supposed to be running. It is 9:43 in Texas. From New Orleans? Okay, 5:04. What's up? You know, I'm from Kenner, so nice to see you here. All right, let me tell you this story. For y'all that was on the podcast, act like you never heard it before. Michelle talking about the grill, yeah. So, all right. So my brother, he's older than me, right? And my brother, like I love my brothers, both of them. Like they've always had my back since I was little. But my brother, my middle brother, you know, he sometimes don't like following instructions, you know? And yeah, he's always been like that. He's been in his own world. Nothing wrong with it. But he don't do it on purpose. But like he don't really follow instructions sometimes. So anyways, most of you know we sold our house, right? So we moved, and I'm not getting paid for this, but I love Traeger. Like I love Traeger grills. I love Traeger. Matter of fact, Traeger need to pay me for real though. Traeger seasoning, I'm telling y'all right now, Traeger season, Traeger rub, go get some. Thank me later. All y'all that be cooking, don't have no seasoning on y'all food, it's gonna change everything. I promise you. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like where did you get your seasoning from? It's immaculate. Traeger rub, okay? Thank me later. Go get it. It's all you need on your food, just the Traeger rub. Now, I love the Traeger sauces, and Traegers, you know, they love me too. They do. Actually, I love Maria, but they be sending me stuff. Anyways, so I had this Traeger grill, and I was gonna give it to my brother because they sent me a new one. And so I hit my brother up. At first, he was like, I don't want it. I say, bro, you want this grill. It's like $1,000 grill. You want it. Trust me. I was like, I know you, bro. You want this grill. Like, you just don't want to come get it. So he's like, all right, bro, I'll come get it. So I sent him my order. I said, hey, man, like, make sure, this is a key moment. So listen, make sure that you text me the morning of, because he was supposed to come Monday and Tuesday, but my brother, I knew he wasn't gonna come Monday and Tuesday because he is busy. And so I'm like, I text her, hey, bro, if you need this grill, like come get it because we're in this rental house. And I told him we're in this rental house and we got to leave by Friday. So I need you to come get it. We're moving into our new house. Plus, we ain't gonna be here. Somebody else is gonna be in this rental house. So, all right, bro, I'll text you. I said, make sure you text me. So Thursday comes, right? I get a text from him and say, man, bro, this grill was heavy. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, the grill, I got it. It's like, it's 400 pounds. And it hit me. I was like, man, the grill ain't 400 pounds. I'm like, anyways, bro, you supposed to text me. How can you text me? He's like, oh, bro, I got busy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, you supposed to text me. Like, I had things to give to you for the grill. I had the power cord. He's like, no, the power cord was in there. I'm like, either I'm tripping or maybe I had two. So, but I knew I had the power cord in my house. I was like, maybe I had two. Anyways, right? So, so make a long story short, right? I go back and forth with him. I was like, all right, cool, bro. You got the grill. Cool. He's like, man, what's heavy? I said, you should have called me. So me and Maria's my wife, we're sitting down, right? And we're still a part of our old neighborhood group. So Maria wanted to give something to the neighbors. So she put something in the group and she said, Trent, oh my gosh. Because nothing ever happens in that neighborhood. It's like, Trent, oh my gosh. Like the person that moved into our house, they just wrote on the group, like, man, somebody took their grill. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, somebody went in their backyard and took their grill. I was like, that's crazy. Like, that is some wild behavior to go in somebody's backyard and take their grill. Like, I ain't never heard of that. Like, you might take a car, but going to somebody's backyard, especially in Texas, when you know they got them bang bangs on them, what? So everybody in my neighborhood, my old neighborhood, was freaking out. Like, man, this never happens. And then I was like, really, man, he took the grill. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, no, this can't be true. So I pick up my phone. I text my brother. I said, hey, bro, you got that grill, right? He's like, yeah, I got it. And I said, where you get it from? He's like, your house. And it clicked. I said, he doesn't know my house because I never gave him my address. So I'm like, bro, tell me that you did not go to the old house. He said, yeah. I said, nah, bro. I said, hey, the police is looking for you right now. You said you might want to figure some things out, and the dude looking for you right now. Won his grill back, and he got them things on him. I said, please, you went to the old house. He said, yeah, I went to the back. I went to the back gate, went on the back porch, and took the grill. I'm like, what? I was like, bro, and like the lady's freaking out because she's like, I was home, so I guess she didn't see him. My brother kind of looks like me. He's just a little bit smaller, so they probably thought it was me. I guess they didn't have cameras because I'm like, they probably thought it was me. Like, I don't know, going back to my house, and I don't know. So the police is looking for him. Like, police looking for my brother with this grill. The guy who lives in the house is looking for my brother. So I said, hey man, tell the group like it was Terry, like it was my brother. And so they tell the group, and make a long story short, like the dude, obviously he knows it, so he was cool about it. He's like, yeah, hopefully just nothing's messed up. And I was like, nah. And he had a big grill, like a pit, what they call pit master, whatever it's called, a big grill. And I told my brother, I said, bro, don't you know, bro, you lucky. Number one, you lucky he wasn't home. Because if he was home and saw somebody in his backyard stealing his grill, them things might come out. You know what I mean? But also, bro, they got two big German shepherds. Huge. I seen them. I ain't even scared of dogs, but I was like, I am not going in there with them. And I said, bro, you are lucky them German shepherds wasn't in the backyard because you would have been that show, but Mr. Postman, you would have been running, jumping over the fence. I said, actually, it probably would have been funny, as long as you were safe. And so, yeah, man, my brother stole a grill because he thought it was my grill out my old house. All because he didn't text me. How crazy is that? And guess what? He still didn't get the grill he was supposed to get. Because he was all mad, like, I don't even want that grill no more, man. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. So I gave it to somebody else. And he texted me the other day, hey, bro, I'm about to come get the grill. I said, the grill is gone. I said, so I told you, I said, you went through all of that. You better come get this grill. Shoot, you went through all of that. Could have got bit by some dogs, could have got shot in the backyard, could have got arrested by the police. Man steals grill from a backyard. Can you imagine that title? Man steals grill from his brother's backyard, his brother's old backyard. And I said, you might as well come get the grill. He's like, nah, I ain't gonna come get it. And I know my brother. I was like, in 24 hours, he's gonna be like, man, I'm gonna come get it. But it was too late then. I already gave somebody else the grill. So yeah, that's what happened, man. I was like, what? That is freaking crazy, bro. That is crazy. And I can just picture because the dude's grill is huge. I saw it. So first of all, like my old house, y'all gotta understand, like I lived in like a acre lot. So it wasn't just like, garage right there to the truck. You gotta take it out the back patio. You have to roll it like by the pool all the way to the concrete to the grass. And the grass is hard. Through the grass, open the gate, close, and then take it into your car. Like it's a long walk. So it's not just like, oh, here's the garage, the grill's right there. I was gonna put it in my truck. No, it's a long walk. So I don't know how he made it out of there without the wife sending out the two canines. I'm just glad that he didn't get, and it's crazy because I should have known, like the day before, he's like, bro, make sure you're at home, man, because I don't want to get shot. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, I said, we have this house. I said, we got this house until Friday. You good? And so I guess in his mind, he thought I was talking about, I don't know, my old house. So there you have it, man. Yes, it would have been a great movie scene. It was just hilarious. And he's like, yeah, the police is looking for him right now. They're on. I was like, man, and the police in my old neighborhood, they be bored because there's gonna be no action. So I can imagine they probably had like 10 police cars chasing down a dude with a grill. So yeah, and that was just day one, and my other pot, and later on, I talked about Maria's situation, my wife. So, and I'll just share this and I'll get off here. So the same day, this night. So I can't make this up. I swear. We go to my son's first scrimmage in football and did phenomenal, by the way. Tristan's great. He's a great athlete, even a better kid. So we go to the scrimmage, and after the scrimmage, and it's not funny. It's really not funny. Like I can kind of laugh now, but it was really traumatic. It was scary. So we go to the scrimmage, and that's why I was like, pray for Maria. She's in the hospital for y'all that that saw that post. But so we're standing outside. I'm like in the street, and Maria's like on the sidewalk, but she's in the grass. And what happens is she starts saying, "Ow, ow, ow!" I'm like, what is going on? And I look down, and she's in a bed of fire ants. Right, the fire ants is tearing her butt up. So I'm like, ants, probably get bit, get swollen a little bit. So she's freaking out. She's like, let's go, let's go. I was like, all right. We get in the car, and she's like, I'm allergic, I'm allergic. And I'm like, Maria, everybody's allergic to ants. Like, you'll be all right. Like, just breathe. We'll stop and get some Benadryl. You'll be okay. And she's still freaking. She's scratching everywhere. I said, Maria, why are you scratching? Like, I'm itchy everywhere. I'm on fire. And I'm like, Maria, you're over exaggerating. And I'm gonna be real. I feel like bad for even saying this at that moment because I'm like, trying to. I really didn't think it was that serious, and just me being kind of having ignorance towards it. So we go to the gas station, and we can laugh about it. She'll laugh about it now too, because just thinking back, it's like this is wild. So we go to the gas station. I'm getting some Benadryl. So I'm in the gas station. I'm thinking, it's just ant bites. Should be all right. Put some cortisone on it, whatever. Should be good. Or that tube remember that metal tube your grandmama used to have? I don't know what medicine that was. It was just a metal tube, whatever it was. They put it on everything. Anyways, I go in the gas station and I'm just taking my time because I'm like, all right, ant bites should be all right. So I'm getting Sour Patch Kids, I'm getting Gatorades for the girls. And I get to the front of the line and her sister called me. And I had to answer, like, why is her sister calling me? Maybe her sister telling me to hurry up. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I get to the car. Maria's on FaceTime with her mom and her sister, like freaking out. And when I saw her, like this from like, it's like 3 minutes different. I saw her, she looked like Hitch. You ever seen Hitch? Like she was wept up, swollen, like she got beat up by Mike Tyson. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even, like, I had to look at her again, like, are you my wife? And she's freaking out. And she was like, I can't breathe. And when she said that, like, it's just like my heart dropped because, I had asthma my whole life. I know how it feels when you can't breathe. She's like, my throat is swelling up. Like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. So I'm like, you're really, like, you're allergic. And so my daughter's in the back. Marley's in the back saying, mommy, don't die. Like, but she's not saying it in a sad way. You got to know Marley. She's like, don't die on us. Mom, don't die on us. And she's like, not in a sad way. Marley is like ruthless. Like, she's like, you can't die today. And I'm just like, Marley. Then Maya is bossy, right? Maya's telling me, Dad, you need to step on it. You need to run through all these red lights. You need to turn here. Like, she ain't like she know where she's going. So I was thinking about, man, what's in our like, what's in our, I'm a self-employed, person. So, healthcare is like very different for entrepreneurs. And so I'm like, okay, what's in our network? I was like, bro, I ain't got time to think about network. Who cares? So I run the red lights and she's like freaking out. Like she's not breathing much. I'm like, Maria, breathe through your, she's like, I can't breathe through my mouth. Like, just breathe through your nose then. So that helped her a little bit. And then we get there and, at that point, man, she was struggling. So bring her in there real quick, lock the kids in the car just for a brief second so I can get her in there. They take her to the back. And, they help her. They save her pretty much. And she stayed in the hospital just for a few hours once they gave her, all the medicine to help her reaction. But my sister-in-law did some research. She texted me and she said, like, people die from red fire ants. I say, man, I learned something new, especially in Texas and Florida. I was like, wow, I didn't know you can die from fire ants. I didn't know. It's like a rare case, but Maria had that rare case. And so, yeah, that's what happened that night. And it was pretty scary because, my daughter was in the car. Then my son, he was stayed at the game. So he heard and he called me concerned. And yeah, man, it was crazy because it was like, I was trying to run lights, but it's like I caught every light. I was behind cars. It took forever to get 3 minutes. At least it seemed that way. And so I told her, I was like, Maria, if you were this allergic, you need to be carrying something. Like, why you carry some EpiPens, whatever you need, whatever it is. She's like, I didn't know I was this allergic. I was allergic, but I know it was this allergic. I said, well, now we know. So we need to carry. So I'm just telling y'all this. Like, yeah, them fire ants is a real deal. You know what I mean? It's a real deal. And I wasn't going to tell y'all what it was then, but the people like fire ants. But nah, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like, I've never experienced that in my life. Like, I've seen a lot, but I was like, Oh my gosh. But I guess they have venom in them or something like that that can spread through your body. I don't know. There were some gangster ants. I don't know. They might have been fire ants. Because what I seen with her, I'm like, in 3 minutes, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I had to do it. I thought somebody like took Maria out the car and brought somebody in. Like, she was almost unrecognizable. Like, I was like, is this like this a joke? It was crazy. But she's good now. She good. We make jokes about it now. I told her, and this dark personality, some of y'all might not think it's funny, but I did tell her, I said for Christmas, I'm gonna dress up as a fire ant and scare her. But we laugh about it now, so it's all good. It wasn't a laughing matter about 48 hours ago, but we laugh about it now. She got her jokes on me, and she was like, "Man, shoot, you don't take me serious." It's like, but I was like, "Man, you were gonna be all right." So yeah, we had that. We had that moment, man. It was crazy. Yeah, EpiPen for sure. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for rocking with me tonight on this YouTube live. We're gonna start doing more of these. I probably should have a set time. We probably do a little bit earlier. Well, it's probably 9 p.m. because the kids, I'll be having to put my daughters to sleep. But I appreciate y'all. Again, I do gotta mention we have the Live Legendary shirts. I don't actually I'm gonna open one up. We shipped a lot of them out today. Y'all bought this shirt up, by the way. Y'all like killed this shirt. But this is the Live Legendary shirt. It says Live Legendary Forever on the back, on the front, on the back. A legend. Yeah. And you can get that at shoprehabtime.com. Um, everybody's loving those shirts. We also have the Know Your Worth shirt up there too, that a lot of people love. And then, as always, I know I've been telling this every single live, but I got to because it's a special night. But you can go to TrentShelton.com. Actually, I'm writing the chat right now. Put you on Eventbrite. Boom. You can go right here. Uh, put in the chat. Boom. I just posted in the chat. Oh, snaps. I can add that to the broadcast. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, dang. How I do that? How I do that? Oh, snaps. That's pretty cool. My bad. I'm just playing with stuff now. Oh, that didn't sound right. I'm like trying to figure out some stuff over here. But Live Legendary event. It's gonna be amazing. I just posted in the chat, Eventbrite. If you didn't see it, you can go to TrentShelton.com. I would love to see y'all there. I think it'll be super dope. And yeah, Slay Zozo said I gotta get one. Go get one. They up right now. And if you enter the code free, you get free shipping, by the way. Like that's a hack. So shipping's like $10, but if you enter the code free, you get free shipping. So there goes your code for checkout. So for you guys already bought one, moving forward, just enter the code free. If you remember, you get free shipping. It's usually, I haven't changed that code in like 4 years. So I probably won't change it no time soon. So take advantage of it when you're getting your merch. And yeah, man, you guys have a beautiful night. Maybe I'll talk to y'all later on this week. And I'll send them more of a notice too. But it's rehab time. Let's get it. I appreciate y'all. Yeah.